Hi everyone, this is kielbasa, sauerkraut, and potatoes, a complete dish in one pan in under 45 minutes, full of flavor. If you want to know how I made this, keep watching this video and I'll show you how to prepare this delicious dish. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. I don't know how you found me, but I'm so happy and blessed that you're here. Channel for people who don't want to cook, don't like to cook, don't know how to cook. Today I'm going to show you my recipe, my take on sausage, kielbasa, and sauerkraut. I'm going to try and make it a full meal. Well, I am going to make it a full meal. I'm going to add some potatoes to this and serve mine with some biscuits on the side. Here are the ingredients. I'm going to use 2 cans of shredded sauerkraut. I'm going to rinse those. And I'm using simply potatoes. Those that know me, welcome back. You know, I'm always looking for a shortcut. If you want, you can peel russet potatoes, use red skin potatoes, or Yukon Gold, but my channel is all about easy, quick, fast meals. I'm gonna slice up an onion. I'm gonna add my secret trick, a little bit of Thousand Island dressing. And I am gonna take my kielbasa and I'm gonna saute it first in a little bit of olive oil and butter. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of garlic. This is a staple in many European and many Central and Eastern European countries. I've been loving this for a while, but today I'm going to add potatoes to try and make it a full meal. I guess you could serve this with salad. Like I said, I'm going to use biscuits, and I think this is really delicious, and it doesn't take long to make. So let me put you guys on pause. Let's get cooking. Okay guys, I have my skillet heating up. I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to fry these 2 times in like a 2-part frying process. What I'm going to do, I want the outside of the kielbasa to be cooked. Normally, I'm going to slice them in rings, but when you slice them in rings, the skin doesn't get any, it doesn't get charred or cooked at all. And I want this to be cooked on all sides. This one will be a little difficult because it was in the bin, but I am going to put this in here too. And I've got this up on kind of high. I just want to crisp up the outer edges of each of these pieces of sausage. Then I'm going to pull them out and cut them into rings and put them back in. And I forgot to tell you guys, I apologize. I am going to add some Kobe Jack cheese. I had it in the freezer. I like to grate my cheese when it's a little bit frozen. You can use cheddar, American, whatever you want. I'm not going to use all of this, just a little bit. Because anybody that knows me knows I like to enhance the flavor and kick it up a notch just a tiny bit. So I'm going to get these going, and what I did also is I opened the the sauerkraut, and I rinsed it 2 or 3 times. As you see, I just push it down in there, get rid of all the natural juices that's in there, run water, did that 3 or 4 times for each can. You don't have to, but I prefer to rinse it, so that's just one of my techniques. So I'm just going to keep turning these and get some color on them, and then come back and slice them up and get them back in the skillet. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, as you see, I just want to cook the casing, because when you slice it in rings, you're only cooking the sides and you're not getting any color on the casing. And I just want it just to bubble up and crisp up a little bit, because if you want, you can use pork or beef, whatever you like. I decided instead of smoked sausage to use kielbasa this time. So I'm just lightly browning this, just like I said, to get a little color on the casing, get a little blistering. Now I'm going to remove these and slice these up into rings, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. Okay, so cut these into like almost 1-inch pieces. So I'm going to add these back to the skillet. And I just want to brown these a little bit just to get some color on them, because when you buy smoked sausage, it's already cooked. You don't have to do this. It's already cooked and ready to go. If you want to eliminate this in the previous step, it will definitely make it faster. But those that know me know I like extra flavor. And you guys know that I upload 2 videos a week. I always include inspirational quotes and tell a controversial joke at the end. So I'm just browning these up. And then I'm going to remove these. And then into that next step, I'm going to add the potatoes. And I'm going to cook the potatoes and get those close to done. And I may have to add water or chicken stock. I have to wait and see. It depends on how wet these are to get the potatoes cooked, because that's the main thing. The potatoes are not cooked, so I'm going to saute those in this skillet for extra flavor. See, I'm just browning them on both sides. Just getting a little color, not really browning them. Then flipping those over. It only takes a couple minutes. So that's a quick meal for a weeknight. I've been eating this beer like it's really common in European countries. Sauerkraut and sausage or kielbasa. We got this on a fairly high heat. This doesn't have to go in the oven. This is a one skillet dish, which I thought you guys would love. It's one of my favorite ways to cook. Not a lot of cleanup. See how quick that's going. They've all got a little bit of color on them. So I'm going to remove these, cut my eye down, wipe that off, make sure that doesn't run over and start a fire. And then to this, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil. And I'm going to add a little bit of butter to the potatoes. I'm going to get the potatoes fairly cooked before I add the onions. So it looks like I'm going to go about about 2 cups of potatoes in this. This is also a way to stretch it if you want to stretch it. And I'm just going to wait a few minutes before adding the onions because I don't want the onions to get too brown while I'm trying to make sure these potatoes are cooked. See, it's making a splattering mess. So I'm cleaning as I go. Let's just back up. And then you combine it all together and then let it simmer for about 15 minutes to let all the flavors meld together. It's a really delicious dish. I plan to take this to lunch tomorrow. Those that know me know I work as an ER nurse and I'm still working full time. So I'm always looking for something that I can get 2 meals out of. I know my husband will not eat this because of the sauerkraut. Those that know me know that my husband's super picky. He will not eat anything green. So most of the things I cook for you is just for me. So I apologize that they're in small portions. This should feed 4 people, maybe 3, I'm guessing. So I'm just going to continue cooking these till I get these pretty much close to done. Then I'm going to add the onions. So I'll be right back. Okay, the potatoes are starting to get a little color on them. So I'm going to put the onions in. You can dice them. But most of the time I like my onions sliced, just for maybe spaghetti, soups, and different things like that. I'll do them chopped. But for a meal like this, I like them sliced. So that was about 1/3 of an onion. I'm just going to saute these potatoes with the onion. And I apologize, going to add a little bit of salt to this because that will help the onions sweat, release some of their moisture. So I don't want to put any more oil in the pan. I'm going to add the garlic at the last minute because I don't want it to burn. I want to make sure the potatoes are pretty much close to cooked before I add the sauerkraut to this and the sausage, and then let it cook for 15 minutes covered. And then at the last minute, I'm going to grate some cheese, the 𝐃𝐈𝐍 I showed you. I apologize, it wasn't in the list of ingredients. And you don't have to add that. It's just something that make it, my own recipe. Because traditionally, I'm sure it doesn't have any cheese in it. So I'm going to continue cooking this for a little bit to get the onions cooked, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, this is where I add the garlic. The potatoes are not quite done, but they're pretty close. But like I said, I'm going to put the lid on this when I combine everything, and it will cook. Should cook thoroughly by then. You just only want to cook this for about a minute. Then I'm going to add the sauerkraut. And there is some residual water left in here from when I rinsed this. So that will also help cook the potatoes. Just mixing this all together. Now we'll add the sausage back in. Mix this together so all the flavors meld. Nice. It's cut on my thumb. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like quick, fast, easy meals, like I said, you landed in the right place. This is what I do. Very fast and very easy and simple. You know, I don't need any chicken broth, which I figured I would not because I didn't completely drain all of the water. I did rinse those about 3 or 4 times in each can. So now I'm just mixing this together, and I'm going to put a lid on this and let this go for about 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you the final step on how to make this. And please hit that subscribe button. Okay, my lid has one of those valves that you can open and close. I'm going to close it and cut this down on really low and cover that up. Okay, I like my cheese a little bit frozen, like I said. That's why I apologize it wasn't out with the other ingredients. It's a little easier to break. See, it's not really frozen. I got to put it back in the freezer. It's kind of crumbling. But I'm only going to add not a whole lot of this, maybe about a quarter of a cup of cheese. I don't want it really cheesy. I just want to enhance the flavor. But if your family loves cheese, you know I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't do a lot of cheese. It makes my stomach hurt. I wish it was just gas, but it's not. I don't have any gas. It's stomach hurt really bad. And one of my subscribers suggested lactate. I still take more lactate. This little amount of cheese, my stomach still hurts, so I give up. But I do like cheese, but not a whole lot of it because it likes to be sick. 3 things most people don't like to be before sick. So, how that goes. That's about the amount of cheese I'm going to add in that whole dish. So I'm going to put you guys on pause. It's still got another 5 or 10 minutes to go, and then I'll come back and add the cheese. Okay, the potatoes are nice and tender. Now, if you don't want to use or don't have any Thousand Island, no worries. Use about 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and that'll balance out the tartness of the ingredients with the onion and the sauerkraut. So I'm just adding that to it. That's a half a cup. I'm going to mix that together, get that all combined. This is really delicious. Like I said, I added the potatoes to make it a complete meal. And I think the Thousand Island dressing really takes it over the top. You could add smoked paprika if you like. If you like caraway seeds, add those. I honestly despise them. So whatever flavors you like, you can definitely add to this. I only added a little bit of garlic. And here I'm going to add cheese I grated. Cheese in. And it's pretty much done. Just going to mix this all together. Get this all combined. If you like it really cheesy, add a lot of cheese. That's a lot for me. Like I said, my husband won't be eating this. So I'm just mixing this all together. It smells delicious. You know, those that know me know I like a lot of flavor. That's why I added the Thousand Island. Because normally when I make this, I always add just the 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. But today I decided to give you guys a little something different. Way to cook a meal for your family in 1 pan. Okay, so that's all combined, and that's pretty much done. So I'm going to turn the camera around and tell you guys my joke. And as always, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And more importantly, comment. I respond to all my comments, or I try to. I try not to miss any of them. I have notifications set up on my computer to notify me if you guys say something, critique it, have an idea, an improvement, anything like that. I love it. I just love that you take time out of your day, and I appreciate it to watch my videos. I'm really grateful. Okay, guys, there you have it. Kielbasa, sauerkraut, and potatoes. I apologize if this offends anybody. I did put some chopped fresh parsley on top for my pictures because it looks more appealing, but it's definitely not necessary for you to cook this meal for your family to go out and buy parsley if you don't have any. So thanks for watching. Let me tell you guys my joke. Steve and his buddies were hanging out planning on an upcoming fishing trip. Unfortunately, he had to tell them he couldn't go this time because his wife wouldn't let him. After a lot of teasing and name calling, Steve headed home frustrated. The following week, when Steve's buddies arrived at the camp to set up, they were all shocked to see Steve. He was already sitting at the campground with a cold beer, swag rolled out, fishing rod in hand, and a campfire glowing. "How did you talk the missus into letting you go, Steve?" "I didn't have to," Steve replied. "Yesterday when I left for work, When I went home, slumped down in the chair with the beer to drown my sorrows because I couldn't go fishing with you guys, the old lady snuck up behind me, covered my eyes, and said, "Surprise." When I pulled back her hands, she was standing there in a beautiful see-through negligee, and she said, "Carry me into the bedroom and you can do whatever you want." So here I am. I thought that was pretty funny. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's a one-pot dish, cooks in under 45 minutes, and it will serve, it looks like 4 people, even though I'm going to be the only one eating it. The sauerkraut complements the richness of the kielbasa, and adding the cabbage, creating a balanced dish. You can serve this with salad. I'm going to have it with biscuits, and I hope you guys give this a try. And if you have members of your family who love a Reuben sandwich, this kind of mimics a Reuben. That's why I added the Thousand Island dressing. You don't have to add that. You can add red pepper flakes, like I said, caraway seeds, smoked paprika. But for those that don't like sauerkraut, please try it with the Thousand Island dressing, especially if you love a Reuben. I think you'll enjoy this recipe. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Have a good evening, and God bless.